So we had a review of Laplace transform and inverse Laplace transform. Now we'll see how to represent a given circuit in S domain, or how can you transform a signal from time domain to S domain. So in order to learn that, first we'll see how the network elements are represented in S domain. So in our subject we are focusing on R, L and C. So we'll see how to represent R, L and C in S domain. So first we'll see resistor. So the first one is resistance. The basic relation between voltage and current is V of t in a resistor is V of t equal to I of t into R, where R is a constant. Now taking Laplace transform on both sides, V of t can be represented as V of s equal to I of t can be written as I of s. R is a constant which will remain the same. So V of s equal to I of s into R, where R is a constant. That is, you can represent, suppose we have a resistor R and you are applying a voltage V of t across this, resulting in a current I of t. This can be represented in S domain as V of t will be replaced by V of s, R will remain as R itself, and I of t by I of s. So this is the S domain representation of the circuit. This is the time domain representation of the circuit. Now we will see how to represent inductor. Second is inductance. What is the relation between voltage and current of inductor? It will be VL of dt equal to L into di by dt. Now let's take the Laplace on both sides. V of t is written as V of s equal to L into di by dt, time differentiation. It is s into I of s. If initial condition is present, you will have to consider that also. So taking Laplace transform throughout of the equation, V of t equal to L into di by dt, we get V of s equal to L into s I of s minus I of 0 minus. Now let me open the brackets. So it will be Ls I of s minus L I of 0 minus. Or what will be I of s? I of s will be V of s by Ls plus I of 0 minus by s. So this is how you represent voltage of inductor in S domain and current flowing through inductor in S domain. Now we can represent it by circuit diagram. In time domain we have an inductor across which a voltage V of t is applied, resulting in a current I of t. Now this is the time domain representation. Now how can we represent it in S domain? S domain, the equation is V of s equal to Ls into I of s minus Li of 0 minus. So that will be, along with inductor, there will be a voltage source, minus plus this will be the current flowing through it will be I of s, this will be SL, and this will be L into I of 0 minus. So this is how you represent an inductor in S domain. That is, in time domain you will have an inductor of value L, an inductor of value L in time domain is equivalent to SL into in series with a voltage source having value L into I of 0 minus. If the initial condition is absent, if there is no initial current flowing through it, then this inductor in time domain is equivalent to SL. Okay. Now this is a inductor in series with voltage source. This can be drawn, an equivalent circuit can be drawn. You can replace this voltage source in series with inductor by a current source in series in parallel with inductor, just like we learned source transformation. So this can also be drawn as parallel combination of inductor with a current source. This is I of S, this is SL, and what will be the value of I? I is V by impedance. Here V is L into I of 0 minus, by impedance is SL. So L and L will cancel and we get I of 0 minus by S. We can represent it like this also, and the voltage across this can be written as V of S. So these are the various representation. I will quickly explain once more. Inductor, we start with the basic equation for voltage. V of t equal to L into di by dt. Taking Laplace transform on both sides, V of s equal to L into, applying differentiation property, s into I of s minus I of 0 minus. Opening the brackets, it will be L s I of s minus L into I of 0 minus. This is V of s. That means these two terms should represent the voltage term. Or from this we can write equation for I of s also, which is V of s by Ls plus I of 0 minus by s. Now I am going to represent these two equations in circuit form. In time domain, the first circuit shown as in time domain, there is an inductor having value equal to L, across which we apply a voltage V of t, resulting in a current I of t. In S domain, this will get converted to V of s is equal to, we have written here, V of s equal to, or here, V of s equal to Ls into I of s minus L of I 0 minus. So that is represented here. A voltage V of s is applied across an inductor in series with the voltage source. So in S domain, an inductor is represented by SL in series with a voltage source having value equal to L into I of 0 minus. If there is no initial current present, then L can be simply represented by S into L. Now this is voltage source in series with inductor can be represented by a current source in parallel with inductor. The value of I will be V by impedance. V here is L into I of 0 minus, that by impedance SL will be I of 0 minus by S. Next is capacitance. We will start with equation for current. current flowing through capacitor, I of t is equal to C into dV by dt. Taking Laplace transform, it will be I of s equal to C into S into V of s minus initial value. This is CSVS minus C into V of 0 minus. Now what is this? CV. CV is the charge. So we can write it also as minus Q0 minus, the initial charge stored in the capacitor. This is I of S. Or V of S can be written as I of S by Cs plus Q of 0 minus by Cs, which is I of S by Cs plus Q is C into V of 0 minus. So Cc will get cancelled. You will get V of 0 minus by S. This is equation for voltage and current of capacitor in S domain. Now we can represent it by a circuit in time domain. We have a capacitor across which a voltage V of t is applied. This is C. Current flowing through it is I of t. Now when a voltage is applied, we can represent it by this equation. That is, you have a capacitor V of s is applied across this, resulting in a current I of s. This value will be 1 by Cs, and this will be V of 0 minus by S. Okay. So this is the S domain representation of capacitor when initial condition is given. That is, a capacitor can be represented in S domain. So if you have a capacitance in S domain, in time domain with value C, this is equivalent to capacitor represented by 1 by Cs in series with a voltage source having value equal to V of 0 minus by S. If the initial condition is absent, then it is simply a capacitor having value equal to 1 by Cs. Now we can draw an equivalent circuit of this by converting this voltage source in series with capacitor to a current source. Current source should point towards the positive side of voltage in parallel with capacitor. This is I of S. This is 1 by Cs. What will be the value of I? I will be V by R. V here is V by impedance. V here is V0 minus by S is V. This by impedance. Impedance is 1 by Cs. So that is Cs will go up. S and S will cancel, and the value will be C into V of 0 plus. If you are representing it as current source, it will be C into V of 0 minus. The potential across both the branches will be V of S. This is capacitor. Okay. So a capacitor, if initial conditions are absent, then we can represent it by 1 by Cs. If initial condition is given, then it is a capacitor in series with a voltage source having value V of 0 minus by S. So this is how you represent resistor, inductor and capacitor in S domain. or to summarize, a resistor in time domain is represented by R, which in S domain is represented by R itself. Okay, so there is no change in the representation of resistor from time domain to frequency domain, time domain to S domain. So this is time domain and this is S domain. Now capacitor, no, we will take inductor. Inductor having value L in time domain is represented by S into L. If no initial conditions are present in S domain, then if initial condition is given, then it will be SL in series with a voltage source having value equal to L into I of 0 minus. Similarly, capacitor in time domain we represent it by C. In frequency or S domain it is represented by 1 by Cs if there are no initial conditions. If initial condition is present, then it is a capacitor in series with a voltage source. Capacitor will be 1 by Cs and voltage will be V of 0 minus by S. So this is the representation of R, L and C in S domain. So this is the summary of what we have learned till now. To represent a resistor in time domain, represent it by R, you apply a voltage V of t across it, resulting in a current I of t. Now in S domain, R is written by as R itself and V of t as V of S and I of t as I of S. So V of S equal to I of S into R. Now the second is inductance. Inductance in time domain, we have applied a voltage V of t across an inductor L, resulting in a current I of t. And in S domain, it will be inductor in series with a voltage source if there is an initial condition. That is, L into I of 0 minus will be the value of voltage source. So V of S resulting in a current I of S which flows through inductor SL in series with a voltage source L into I of 0 minus. And if initial current is not present, then L into I of 0 minus will be 0. Then it will be SL alone. Now this can be represented in another form as here it is inductance in series with a voltage source. This is represented by inductance in parallel with current source. Now when it comes to capacitor, we have a capacitor of value C to which I am applying a voltage V of t resulting in a current I of t. Here also in S domain we will see that the capacitor will be in series with a voltage source having value V of 0 minus by S. And if there is no initial voltage across the capacitor, V of 0 minus will be 0. So this term will not be present, it will be simply 1 by Cs applied result 1 by Cs. Another equivalent circuit of this, here impedance in series with a voltage source represented by impedance in parallel with an equivalent current source. So this is a summary. So we should clearly know how to express inductor and capacitor in S domain in both the conditions. when there are no initial conditions as well as when there are initial conditions. So this table should be understood very clearly. Okay, so now we have learned how to represent an inductor, capacitor and a resistor in S domain. Now we learn how to perform transient analysis in S domain. Now we have learned how to perform that in time domain. Now using this Laplace transform, we will see how to analyze a circuit in S domain. Now we have to learn how to perform transient analysis for a RL circuit, RLCD circuit, then for an RC circuit and RLC circuit. So we need to learn how to perform transient analysis in S domain for RL, RC and RLC circuit, and also the inputs which we are interested is we are going to analyze these three type of circuits for step input, impulse input, then pulse input, exponential input and sinusoidal input. Okay, so this is what we have to cover next. We need to find out the transient analysis of RL, RC and RLC circuit for step, impulse, pulse, exponential or sinusoidal inputs. Now RC circuit can be either a series combination or a parallel combination. Same way RL can also be series or parallel. Again RLC combination can be series or parallel. Now before going to see how they perform, let's see how to represent these inputs in S domain. We have already learned that. Now step input, by step input what we mean is, suppose you are given a RLCD circuit, say let's consider RLCD circuit across which I apply a voltage say V. Okay, you have an RL circuit across which I am applying a voltage V for t greater than 0. Then how can we represent this input? This input can be represented as V into U of t. That is our step input. This V can be of any amplitude. So we can represent it by V into U of t, which in S domain can be represented as V by S. Okay. So our first input which we have seen is represented in S domain as V by S. Let's write this. This is V into U of t, which can be represented in S domain as V by S. Now what about impulse? Impulse means here in the source side you are going to apply delta of t as the input. Now how will you represent that in S domain? As 1. Then now we will see pulse. By pulse what we mean is, I will show you an example. Now this is a pulse. Okay. Here the signal or the function appears from 0 to t and is having a magnitude V. So this is a pulse function. Okay. This is pulse function. Now how can we represent this? You can represent this in terms of u of t. We have learned it before. Now what is u of t? U of t is a function having magnitude 1 extending from 0 to infinity. This is u of t, correct? Now what is u of t minus capital T? It will be unit step function delayed by capital T units. That is, it will start at t extending till infinity having amplitude equal to 1. Now when we subtract these two, if I am performing u of t minus u of t minus capital T, I am going to subtract these two functions, then the common points, the magnitude is 1, 1, will get cancelled. So the signal will be present only from 0 to t. Okay. So this is the pulse function. Here its magnitude v, here I have taken it as 1. So I can write this x of t as u of t minus u of t minus capital T, whatever be the magnitude be. So this is pulse function. Okay. So pulse function is represented as v into u of t minus u of t minus t. Okay. So how can we represent that in S domain? In S domain, we can write this as v into u of t is 1 by s minus u of t minus t. We can apply time shifting property e raised to minus st into 1 by s, or this can be written as v by s into 1 minus e raised to minus t. So this is how you represent a pulse function in S domain. The magnitude of the pulse by s into 1 minus e raised to minus st. Okay. Now exponential we have learned. Exponential we have learned, right? E raised to minus at u of t. How do we represent that in S domain? It is 1 by s plus e. Similarly, sin omega naught t u of t is omega naught by s square plus omega naught square. So we will see analysis of RL, RC and RLC circuit for these 5 inputs: step input, impulse input, pulse, exponential and sinusoid. Okay. So we will start with analysis of series RL circuit with step input. So let's draw a series RL circuit to which a step input is applied. So we have a step input applied to a series RL circuit. Okay. So this can be represented, this V with a switch which closes at t equal to 0 can be written as V into U of t. So we have an RL series circuit across which a step input of, oh this is not unit, this is input. A step input of V into U of t is applied. Now we will represent this circuit in S domain. So in S domain this is equivalent to we can remove this switch. R in S domain is R itself. What about L? Here let's assume that the circuit is initially relaxed. That means there are no initial conditions. So L can be represented by S into L. And this V into U of t can be written as V by S. And the current flowing through it is I of S. So this is the S domain representation of the circuit. Now if there was initial condition, then this should be represented by SL in series with the voltage source. Here let's assume that there are no initial conditions. So you can represent it simply by S into L. Now let's write the KVL equation for this. The equation will be V by S equal to R into I of S plus SL into I of S. Or what will be I of S? I of S will be V by S into R divided by R plus SL. Okay. Now that is V by S into R plus SL. Now in all our standard results, the coefficient of S is 1. So let's divide numerator and denominator by L so that this coefficient of S become 1. So this will be V by L into S into S plus R by L. Now we can perform partial fraction, that is A by S plus B by S plus R by L. Okay. Now this can be written as A into S plus R by L plus BS divided by S into S plus R by L. You can equate the numerators and find out the value of A and B. V by L equal to A into S plus R by L plus BS. When S is 0, B will become 0. So V by L will be equal to A into R by L, which implies A equal to V by R. Similarly, when S equal to minus R by L, V by L equal to S equal to minus R by L. So A term will go minus B R by L, or B equal to minus B by R. So we will get I of S equal to A is V by R. V by R into 1 by S. B is minus V by R. Minus V by R into 1 by S plus R by L. Now we can write the current equation. I of t equal to V by R into 1 by S is U of t. 1 by S plus R by L is e raised to minus 80 U of t. Or this can be written as V by R into 1 minus e raised to minus R by LT into U of t. Okay. Now we can define the time constant. Tau equal to L by R. Then using tau we can write I of t equal to V by R into 1 minus e raised to minus t by 2 U of t. So this is the analysis of series RL circuit for a step input. Now let's see analysis of RL circuit for an impulse input. So here we have an RL circuit. The input is impulse, that is delta of t. This is R, this is L, this is I of t. Okay. Now we can represent that in S domain. Delta of t is Laplace transform is 1. R is R. Here also we are assuming that all the initial conditions are 0. So we can write the equation. Sorry, this is not I of t, this is I of S. So the equation will be 1 is equal to R into I of S plus SL I of S, or I of S equal to 1 divided by R plus SL. Now this can be, to make the coefficient of S1, divide numerator and denominator by L. So it will be 1 by L plus 1 plus R by, S plus R by L. This is I of S. Now this we can convert directly. I of t equal to 1 by L into, what is 1 by S plus R by L? It is e raised to minus R by L t u of t. Or we can write it as 1 by L into e raised to minus t by tau u of t, where tau is L by R. Now the third input we can apply is pulse input. So we have an RL circuit. Here you are going to apply a pulse input. Pulse input, let me draw here as 0 to t. This is our input. The pulse input is applied here, which results in a current I of t. Okay. Now we can draw the equivalent. This will be R and SL. Again, I am assuming that all the initial conditions are set to 0. Now how can we write this pulse in S domain? The pulse can be written as V into, this can be written as in time domain, this is written as V into U of t minus U of t minus t. Correct? So here it will be V by S into 1 minus e raised to minus st. That is the input. So here we can write the equation, KVL equation. The input is V by S into 1 minus e raised to minus st equal to R into I of S plus SL into I of S. Or I of S will be equal to V by S into 1 minus e raised to minus st divided by R plus SL. Okay. Now we can divide numerator and denominator by L. So it will be V by L into 1 minus e raised to minus st by S into S plus R by L. Okay. This is I of S. or let me take this 1 minus e raised to minus st into b by l into 1 by s into s plus r by l. Now this we have done in our first case, b by l into 1 by s into s plus r by l. We have done it. We can directly take that result here. This is 1 minus e raised to minus st into this we got as b by l okay, let this be equation number 1. Okay, from that I am taking just the b by l into 1 by s into s plus r by l portion. Okay, this can be written as a by s plus b by s plus r by l, which on simplification we get v by r by s minus v by r by s plus r by l. Now we can substitute this here in 1. Substituting this in 1, we will get this as 1 minus e raised to minus st into b by r by s minus b by r by s plus r by l. Correct? So this is array of s. Let's expand this. B by r, let's take this b by r also out. So b by r into 1 by s minus 1 by s plus r by l minus e raised to minus t into 1 by s plus e raised to minus st by s plus r by l. Now we can write the inverse. It is v by r into, this is u of t minus e raised to minus r by l t u of t minus, this is u of t delayed by t units. E raised to minus st into 1 by s means it is inverse of u of t delayed by t units. So this will be u of t minus t plus e raised to minus r by l t minus t u of t minus t.